Hi, boys and girls. This is Miss Davalos, and today we're going to work with Unit 9, Week 1, Day number 3. And we're learning about contractions, and we're going to be using the words would, is, am. First, we're going to read our phrase readings, and we're going to find our spelling words. Remember the ones that have the ending Y or LY. Okay, number 1. Spending time with my baby sister makes me happy. Happy is the spelling word in a happy way. Number 2. We slowly entered the dark room. Slowly is the adverb that describes how they entered. Number 3. I was the lucky winner of the contest. Lucky is the adjective. Number 4. We neatly folded the towels after they dried. Neatly is the adverb of how the towels were folded. Number 5. How likely are you to watch a scary movie? Likely is the adverb. Number 6. A messy room drives me crazy. Messy describes the room. It's an adjective that describes the noun. Okay, so now I'm gonna have a word, and I'm gonna replace one of the sounds and give you a new sound, and you'll tell me the new word. The word is like. Like. If you take the I out and replace it with an A, the new word is lake. The word is quick. Quick. If you take the I out and replace it with an A, the word is quack. The word is met. Met. If you take the E away and replace it with an A, the new word is met. The word is rat. If you take the away and replace it with a P, the new word is pat. The word is clean. Clean. If you take the K away, what's left is lean. The word is old. Old. If you add a T in front of the word old, the new word is told. Okay, so contraction words are short words made by putting two words together. Letters are omitted. That means we take part of the second word out and replace it with an apostrophe. I'm going to show you what that means. Okay, so we have the word would. That's the one that we're going to be working with. That's the skill for right now. I would. So on the second word, we're going to say would. What's the last sound we hear? D. That's the sound we want to keep. So we're going to take away the W-O-U-L out, but we replace it with an apostrophe, and then we put those two together, and now the word is I'd. I'd. You would. Again, we look at the second word and we say would. D. The last sound stays. So we're going to take away part of the word, except for the last sound, replace it with an apostrophe, and then put it together to form the two words put together. And now you have the word you'd, the contraction you'd, which means you would. We would. Again, in the word would, we leave the last sound, d. Everything is taken out, but we replace it with an apostrophe, and now we put it together and we say we'd. He would. Again, on the second word, would, d, we leave the d sound, which is the letter D, but we replace it with an apostrophe and then we put it together to make the contraction he'd. She would. Again, in the word would, we just leave the last sound, d. Everything else is taken away, but we replace it with an apostrophe and we bring it together. And now we have the contraction word, she'd. Who would. Again, on the second word, we leave only the last sound, would, d, d. We take everything else out, but we have to replace it with an apostrophe, put it together to form the contraction, and now it's who'd. Now we're going to be working with is. Okay, he is. Again, on the second word, say the word is. What's the last sound? S. So we're going to keep the S. We're going to take out the I, replace it with an apostrophe, because when we take something out, we have to replace it with an apostrophe in a contraction. Put it together, and now he's. She is. Again, in the second word, is, we keep the S, the last sound. We remove the I, but when we remove something, we put the apostrophe in its place and then put it together to form a contraction. And now cheese is the new word. That is. Again, we leave only the last sound. We take the I out, but we replace it with an apostrophe, put it together, and now the new word is that's. Who is. Okay, again, we leave the last sound. So we take away the I, replace it with an apostrophe because we always have to replace it with an apostrophe, and then put it together, and then we have the word whose. There is. Again, take away the I, replace it with an apostrophe, put it together, and the new word is theirs. What is. Again, we leave only the last sound, take away the I, but we have to put an apostrophe in its place, put it together to form one contraction, and that's the word what's, which means what is. Here is. Again, we take away the I, but we replace it with an apostrophe, put it together, here's. Now we have the am. This can only be used with the word I. And remember the letter I has to be capitalized. I am. Is the last sound, so we take away the A, but we replace it with an apostrophe, and we put the M next to it, and now we have I am. And that's the end of the lesson.